Have you completed everything there is in the game to offer and you're sitting there wondering, well, what do I do next? I'm completely stuck. Well, this video is for you. We're going to dive into that right now. But first, make sure you hit that thumbs up and subscribe if you were new. That being said, I just want to say, if you consider cleared everything to be just like the story section, that, I mean, fine, but that's not exactly true. There's more things you can do. Well, thankfully, that's what this video is here to explain. But inevitably, I've been seeing this since the very first day of the game. I mean, we're a few days in, but I digress. Where people say they've cleared all the story and they're just kind of like stuck, wondering what to do. It's a pretty common question, pretty common concern. So make sure you tune into the streams that we do, for the record, because this video is basically going to be recounting a rant I had a couple of days ago on a stream on this very topic, but obviously putting it in a video format. And so ultimately, the most important thing you need to know about this game is that it is a single player game, right? Ultimately, a lot of these gacha games fall into one of like 3 different buckets. And some of those games can like fall back on like PvP/co-op content, give you something to grind, or like rank rewards in PvP, something for you to have as like a carrot to chase. And this game, at least right now, I think this game is a pretty strong candidate for like co-op down the line. I don't think it'll ever get PvP, but I could see it getting like co-op, fighting kaiju bosses, things like that. We just had a worldwide raid, but that's basically single player. It doesn't really matter. I don't think there was even a way to see other players' damage, no leaderboards, nothing, right? So very bare bones. It might as well have just been a completely PvE single-player boss fight. That's what it was. They can fall on that stuff, though. Like, other games can have a focus around that. This game's focus is not that. Of course, it doesn't have access to that. This game's focus is account progression, right? So ultimately, the gameplay loop is you work on your stuff until they give you something else to work on. Quite literally, quite simply, that is the ultimate gameplay loop for this game, right? So the very first thing I want to tell you is work on your account. And what that means is work on all your characters. Start with the most meta, good ones, 5 stars, whatever your criteria is. You're working on your characters. You make your way down the list. I wouldn't spread my resources like one at a time. I've kind of done that because I'm trying to, do videos and stuff. Like I just hard stopped building Gen and started building Kafka just for a video, which if you haven't seen it, it was pretty fun. Make sure you check it out. Anyway, I wouldn't do that. I would work my way down the list, upgrade one character and then proceed from there to upgrade their skills and then go on to the next character, maybe 2 at a time at most, especially if they're different roles. That works too. But that is the most important thing that you can be doing because ultimately they will give you more content to throw your characters at. That is the loop, right? Now, there's flexibility within that, but that is the overarching theme. And that is a pretty common theme for single-player games. They're more so focused on you trying to figure out your stuff. And so what other flexibility is there, right? Because, again, make sure you're building your levels or your characters. That means their actual levels. That means your own account levels so you can keep pushing your characters farther. That means your weapons. That means your unit parts. If you have good unit parts, do you have the optimal ones on? Do you have like the right stat bonuses on these? Do you have 5-star unit parts? Do you have 5-star unit parts on all your characters? Like there is a really big bubble to this. Like you have if you really want to get into the weeds, you can really keep going down that rabbit hole, right? And that may or may not interest you. You may or may not want to play that way. But ultimately, when I hear I've done everything, these are the things I'm going to ask you. Have you done X, Y, Z, this, that, and the third? That matters, right? Now, like I said, there is alternatives in here. That's not the only thing that there, of course, is to do. I just wanted to drive home the point that is the ultimate place that this is going to go. Think about other single-player games on the gacha market. That probably is also ultimately the gameplay loop, right? Keep on working on your stuff for them to put new events in, and that's just it. So, what else is there aside from that to do? Well, you can take those characters currently and put them towards other content that's here in the game. Have you cleared Fierce Battle, right? This is another piece that I personally haven't really played with it too much. I've been busy doing other things, but you can put that towards Fierce Battle, right? You can keep on building your characters. You can test them out here, see how they perform. Also, another thing you can do is you can build different combinations of teams, get to theory crafting, whether that's here or in a different piece of content, and start seeing what the best combinations are. Maybe try out some characters you haven't tried out. See if you can hit that big damage number, like things like that. There's alternatives. Now, some of that stuff is like YouTuber ideas that I'm telling you guys. Maybe you play that way, maybe you don't. But I'll ultimately start doing that stuff as all videos. So make sure you subscribe, right? Because I'll be doing all that stuff. But these are other things you can do, whether that's in Fierce Battle again or not. Maybe you want to wait for the next raid to come around, right? That's another thing you could do. Also, I wanted to kind of position this to you guys. Have you cleared literally every piece of content here, right? Some of the stuff, like I have stuff I haven't really pushed every difficulty. That's another thing it's minor, but you can also come over here and make sure that you do that. Another thing that's kind of here is Expedition. Expedition kind of matters a lot. It matters a lot. The thing is with Expedition is it's a mode that you don't necessarily need to pay a ton of attention to, because at the end of the day, it does have idle mechanics in it. However, it is a mode that's fun, and it is a mode that can be engaging if you want to play it. It's all up to you and how you choose to interact with it. For the record, I also do recommend grabbing a couple of these a day, even if you're free to play. It won't hurt you if the goal is account progression, right? I know you want to put every single gem possible towards summons, right? And ultimately, that's what people are also thinking. They're thinking, oh, I've cleared everything. What can I do to get more summons specifically? Well, you can't brute force summons, right? If you've literally done everything there is, then you just have to wait. Like, it is what it is. You have to wait for them to put new content in. But you can do that. I think you're fine. I think that's a general tip, because stamina is such a big problem in this game. Humongous problem. Which, by the way, I'm pretty positive. God damn it, every video. Once at least every video. I'm pretty positive stamina is such a big issue in this game because of this, by the way. Like, because of the lack of things for people to do. I'm pretty sure that's why. Because I don't know if people realize how big a problem this is. I could rattle off like 10 different reasons why, maybe not 10, but like 5 different reasons why this is bad. And so ultimately, though, I don't have any problems recommending people do that. I think that's a good exchange rate. All right. So make sure that you are participating in Expedition, or at least giving it a try, because I do think it's pretty interesting. And there are 270 million. Oh, that's funny. Oh, that's too funny. There are ways that you could come in here and really engage with this, right? So let me actually just really quickly upgrade some stuff, because we got 270 million just cuz. I'm going to push you up. That's cool. I've got 264 million. I didn't realize that still. Okay, great. I can't really do anything else here. Okay, so that was probably not the best. I accidentally did that. I was swiping my finger across. But I'd have to end the expedition. So I'm going to let this go while I talk. There are a lot of different mods that you can unlock. And there are characters, and you can upgrade the characters. And also another thing about the characters, I don't know, like, this is something that I just kind of figured out myself. Because, to be honest, I have to go check the help section of this game. I bet it's bare bones. But this game doesn't really tell you too much about this mode at all. Like quite literally, it tells you almost nothing. But you can click that magnifying glass and then go into the characters and then upgrade your characters. This is another level, because this stuff does sustain. This is basically you enhancing these characters, which I think is really funny. And each time you complete one of these, they get more of these like orbs to keep putting more into them. So that's that. And then they also put that big Kaiju number 8 in that shop. Aside from all the different like max level 100 mods, they put that big Kaiju number 8 in there at like 30K exchange if you wanted to do that. There's actually quite a bit in here for you to really dive into if you want to do that. Again, ultimately, that's something that's there. You don't necessarily have to engage with it. It's just an option for you to engage with. And also, if you decide to leave it, you just come back like I did with so much gold. It's ridiculous. So you can just kind of keep going and going. So it's pretty funny. But that is mostly it, right? So hopefully you guys understood what I was saying. To recap, Expedition, it's there. You can engage with it if you want to. If you don't, fine, whatever. Have you cleared every piece of content? Fierce battle, the raid boss was up, but it's gone now, so I guess that would have technically fit into the bubble. You may also have some messages, minor things. You can go in there and clear those missions. You could work on clearing specific missions for the battle pass. That's another thing you could do. Have you gone through and worked on your characters? And if so, have you leveled up your character which for the record, you need to hit at least rank 40 to get the spec ops up. So there's that. Have you got to rank 40, right? That's another thing. I haven't even talked about your account rank. You could push your account rank if you really want to. But again, stamina is such a big problem. I've done so many refreshes. It's very tedious and expensive, ultimately. You could push your account rank up, push characters higher up as well. Have you leveled up your characters? Have you leveled up your weapons? Have you got the optimal uniparts on? Have you leveled up your skills? There's multiple layers to that as well. And if you've done that for one character, have you done it for 10, right? I find it hard to believe you've done it for 3 days into the game, unless you spend a lot of money on refreshes, right? Or a lot of gems on refreshes. So there's that. But that is kind of just the thing I think people need to understand, and I'll end on this, is that if you don't jive with that, that's not really going to change. They're going to put other content in the game. For example, I'm pretty sure they're going to reset Fierce Battle at some point. Maybe there's a timer in here I don't see. But at some point, they're going to reset this. And maybe it'll be a monthly thing because the exchange shop is there. That's another thing. Have you gone through and cleared out the exchange shop to the best of your ability to the other shops that are in there? You could do that too if you really want to have a carrot to chase. That stuff's there for a reason. But anyway, I think they're going to do that. They're going to run another raid. Like, I think that's pretty straightforward. I'm sure they're going to introduce new content in terms of like story. In fact, they've already said they're going to bring out new story, in a couple weeks. So there's that. They're going to keep adding stuff to this game, but regardless of what they add, if you're at a point right now where everything is already completed and you're good to go, they're going to add new stuff, and then within a few days, you're going to look back and say, oh, well, I'm in that same spot again. So that is ultimately, I think, what's going to happen to this game, and it's not necessarily a bad thing, right? You just kind of pushed way too hard too early. But that's not necessarily a bad thing. But really, if you're stuck trying to figure out things to do, I think you can work through it, and you can, and really, again, that's why I think the stamina is such a big issue, because it's designed to hard limit your progression, right? I mean, it's that way in every game, but especially in this game. So ultimately, though, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Once again, like I said, make sure you check out the streams when we go live. We cover a bunch of stuff there. We have a fun time, so come hang out. Anyway, guys, thank you for tuning in. Hopefully you enjoyed. And if you want to see the other video that I did on a similar topic, make sure you click the videos on the screen right now.